Hi. Do I look all white to you? Welcome to my special Halloween makeup tutorial. I rarely get to show people how I do some of these things, and this is something that's my tried and true that I like to do, my zebra stripe. And without further ado, let's get started. Now, I wanted to save some time, so I already prepped my skin. I used a good moisturizer, and I had to put a plastic bag over my head so that I would not get too much in my hairline and tear my hair out. I used Ben-Nye White Compact. It's called Cream Color, and the color is white. And if you moisturize your skin ahead of time, it goes on really smoothly. And usually with a foundation, you would do lighter, but for the look we're trying to achieve now, you need something opaque. Okay? And I don't bother using setting powder. I don't bother with primers. From my experience, they just add another layer. You don't want it to look too cakey. Set this down. I have two things in my hand here. This is my favorite eyeliner brush for this. There's more than one way to do this. Let's start with a Wet n Wild pencil. This wasn't an expensive one. This was just, what is it here? Okay, this is the Wet n Wild. I can't even read my own writing. It's a Kohl eyeliner. It's actually called Baby Got Black. Okay, we're going to use this to start with some lines. Okay, last chance here to pat down. If anything is uneven, you know what? Let me take... I don't like beauty blenders. Don't really make sense to me because they end up using way too much product. I like to use my bare hands. So with this, you really want a more opaque thing. Okay, I'm going to start with an eyeliner pencil. I have also used a brush with a heavy eyeliner, like a gel pot. Anything really you can use. I'll start off with this. I may very well switch. I'm going to follow the curve of my eyebrow. I'm going to see where it goes. I'm going to go like parallel to that, and I'm going to you want to probably go for something asymmetrical because that makes it a little bit more aligned with zebra stripes would be in nature. Now, because I have braids, I have to be really careful not to snag things. I'm not going to go in as smooth a motion as I normally would. I'm going to miss these. Even though I'll be able to go out dancing tonight and not have to worry about blinding myself or other people. Okay, I'm going to... Now, what I'm going to do is, instead of just doing the outlines first and then filling them in later, I actually like to do it as I go. That way it gives me an idea of the progression along my face. I don't really try to go for, I will start on the top first and go on the bottom, but I don't go for symmetry in the beginning. Now, what I'm going to use to fill it in tonight is the end of a MAC lipstick. I really love this a lot. This is the only MAC lipstick that I ever bought. This is called Midnight Media, and it's a semi-matte, and it is so down to nothing. I'm using this to get all the good stuff out. And this is what I'm going to use to fill in. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot something very important. I wanted to tie these back so I don't have problems. Where is my... Ah, how can I forget that? Gosh. All right. Mess anything up? There. All right. Now, I'm going to start filling in If this starts graying out, I'll just dip my thing back into the pot. There is so many things that you can use for this. I have used waterproof liquid liners. I kind of prefer not to because I don't want to damage the product by having it end up getting a bunch of whiteface mixed in. So for this, a pencil or a lipstick would be more practical. But, I mean, you could use children's magic markers if you wanted to. There's so many ways to do this. I would advise against something that's going to stain the skin unless you're doing this on a weekend and you know you have a couple of days to scrub it off before going to work or something. Now, one thing I did here, you see that I ended up with a lot of thickness. It's usually a good idea to taper it more before it gets to the hairline. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. It depends on how much black versus white you want. I'm guessing it will end up being about a 50-50 mix. You'll have to decide for yourself when it's done. Now, some people do it thinner, some people do it thicker. The thing about doing it too thin is, from a distance, you're not going to really get as much of an effect. You want people to have an idea that there's some major texture and pattern going on, and you don't want your whole face to just look gray. So, I like for something that can be seen. Okay, now you see how you see the direction that the stripes are going? This already tells me, it tells you, zebra striping is kind of like any kind of a painting. A painting tells the artist what it wants to do, what it's going to be. It's like writing a poem or writing a song. It comes to you. It's not something you always know exactly how you're going to plan it out. Okay. Alright, this is one of very few times when I actually did something that I wished I hadn't done. You can use anything to correct it. I should have had a Q-tip with me, but shame on me. I was not expecting to make a mistake. Now, does that make me an arrogant little so-and-so? Just goes to show, don't take things for granted, folks. I do have a thing of rubbing alcohol right underneath me, and I will show you how I do fix things. I like this wintergreen stuff because I really like the smell. And it is perfectly fine for things like this. Now, I will add that it's impossible to avoid all the smearing. If you have a typical Halloween night that involves at least one nightclub, some dancing, waiting around for a costume contest, you're going to get some smearing. I mean, you're going to try not to rub up against people. You're going to try not to touch your elbow to your chin, things are going to happen. That's just, I mean, you'll notice that if you take the pictures in the beginning and you take the pictures when you get home and stuff. That's just kind of the way it is. Okay, start filling in. If you guys can find my LinkedIn page, which can be found by how I spell my name, you will see still pictures of the process from other years. I've been doing this a while because I don't know, I really, really love zebra stripes. I mean, I love leopard spot too. I've done that, but something about zebra, it's just so, I don't want to call it simple, but in a way it is, having the black and the white. But I just, very drawn to it. I never would have thought I'd be using up my MAC lipstick, but I mean, I'm putting it to good use. You know, I'm making a memory. I mean, as it is, getting this particular MAC lipstick has a special memory to it, which I'll tell you since you're kind of stuck listening to me. I went to New York City to see a band called Type O Negative. They were doing a show. It was actually the last show that I saw them do because the singer ended up dying like 2 years later, or a couple months later, actually. Anyway, when I got on the bus, I realized that I left my makeup bag in the house, and I was really kind of bummed out. And my makeup that I was wearing that day included a cheap black lipstick. And just so happens, 2 weeks ago, this darling cat here, Ace, he scratched my face up. And I'm talking, had marks on my chin, my cheek, and everything. And you know how when you have kind of fresh cat scratches and you're trying to apply foundation to cover it up, it wasn't totally the most perfect job in the world. And I didn't want to look like my face was messed up for this concert because I kind of thought the singer was really hot, right? So anyway, since I was in New York, I decided to go to Macy's, which was the nearest place that sells MAC, and I treated myself to a new lipstick, and I got this mixed media because it had just come out. I mean, people were thrilled that they came out with black lipstick because not a lot of people were doing it aside from the companies like Manic Panic that catered more to punk rockers and stuff. So I got this lipstick, which set me back like $15 because I knew that I could get a makeover, get makeup applied then, and I figured maybe this makeup artist could do something to disguise my cat scratches. And he did. He did a fabulous job. And he gave me his business card, and I don't quite remember his name offhand, so I'm not going to say it. I would butcher it, but he was really amazing. And if he's still working there doing that, I would definitely like to work with him again. Okay. But that was the last time I bought a MAC lipstick because they are rather on the expensive side. I really like this brush. And it's great having a variety of brushes so you never know when you need something small to get in a really small lipstick. I think I'm going to still have the kerchief to keep my braids out of the way. Now, I'm going to stop and do my eyebrows before I do any more of the striping. And I could do so many things to color them in. As you can see, my eyebrows look the same, they just don't have any color. So I'm going to go ahead and use the same pencil. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm going to do for my eyebrows? I'm going to use mascara. I mean, why not, right? To me, that would totally make sense. Okay, where's a black mascara? See, I mean, I made a point before I went to bed last night to lay everything out so I wouldn't have to waste time digging for things. You know, I mean, that's so unprofessional. As it is, I started this video way later than I usually do because the preparations were so elaborate for this. And considering that this is involving going to a club, okay, how hard can this be? This is unreal. See, this is what happens when you don't prepare. Gosh. And I'm not going to edit it out either. Okay. You know what? There's 100 gazillion ways to do anything. I'm just going to use this. The same media that I use for the zebra stripe, I'm going to use for my eyebrows. And I'm going to start with the basic shape. Remember, eyebrows don't have to totally, absolutely be symmetrical. I mean, very little in the human body is going to be completely symmetrical, so don't expect that of yourself. Your brows are your sisters. They don't have to be your twins. So, that said, I like the points to be the same part of the eye. For me, it would be between the corner and the edge of the iris. And sometimes I feel like I always mess it up. Especially, I mean, I don't normally feel like I'm under pressure. But now I'm doing this. This is live video. If you haven't noticed, very little in the way of editing goes into my videos. I mean, now, except for the thumbnail, I do take quite a lot of effort in the thumbnails, which if you don't know, YouTube production speak, the thumbnail is the first picture that you see. It's what made you decide to click on this video. Okay. How do these look? I do edit the thumbnails because I want them to look good. You know, I take a number of stills and I pick the best one. I try to make sure that I don't have anything hanging around in the background because when I put the text on, I've been told it makes it hard to read. Okay, good enough? Now that I got my eyebrows on, before I leave the house, I may decide I want to pull them in a little bit closer together, but I think that's good for now. Why do I get the feeling this looks darker? I hope it's just my imagination. Okay, now back to my zebra striping. I think it's time for me to sharpen. It's important to keep a sharp point on these, which is the only pain in the butt with using a skinny pencil. Some years I've used a Wet n Wild liquid lip in black for this. The only thing is with that has a kind of a tacky consistency, and it's better to have things kind of drier because they'll be less likely to smear. Now, this is going to be a long Halloween weekend, as you probably know, because the day that I'm both filming and posting this is a Thursday night. And so Thursday, there's parties going on. There's going to be activities Friday and Saturday. And then when the 31st actually rolls around, there's going to be things going on. So there's going to be a whole lot of dress-up occasions. So I'm going to be doing this all of those days. Oh my goodness, this is already over 21 minutes. I hope you guys are sticking with me here. I mean, you got to figure, take some time to get this done. I do like to cascade down the face in a way that is attractive. See, that's the thing for me about the zebra stripes. The zebra stripes, the aesthetics of the zebra stripe. I've always loved them. And like anything else, the more you do something, the more comfortable you are with your ability to do it. And yes, I think the better you get at it. I started doing it on paper before I started doing it on myself. I will say, if you have braids, there is more of a challenge in not snagging your hair. And also, the less smooth and tight your skin is, that's another challenge too, because if you have any lines or wrinkles, your brush will literally catch on them. So that is something to think about as far as how your makeup application techniques may change as you get older. And I'm just mentioning this to you just to be straight up. Okay, oh, don't be forgetting. There. You noticed I don't have music in the background of my videos. I find that really distracting when people have music in the background. It makes it harder to hear the person talking. You also have to make sure that you have copyright. You don't want to get in trouble with that. And also, I find, since I write music myself, if I am watching a video, I want to learn how to do something, I want to listen to what the person says, because, I like their personality or whatever. I find music to be such a distraction most of the time. And especially if I'm writing my own material, I don't want to be listening to pop music or rap music. If it's something that I heard when I was a kid, that's one thing, but current stuff, So it's really better, if you're thinking of doing videos, to not add music, really. Unless it's your own stuff and you're making a theme song or something, And I'm saying, if you're going to go that route, though, if you're a musician, you might as well make your record. Just my opinion. Okay, now this is definitely going to go asymmetrical. See that? See, usually I do them both like this. This is actually going in a different direction. That's what's fun about this. Every single time I do this, it comes out different. And I always learn something too. Like, for instance, in order to do this, I did a practice yesterday. I found out I had to tape a mirror to my computer I had to do it in such a way so that it wouldn't cover up the built-in microphone, but that I could still see what I was doing, and what I would do would stay in the frame, you know. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. And at least one thing with these things being digital and stuff, you don't have to worry about running out of film. But I had no idea that it would be taking this long. You know? And again, since I'm not going to be editing things out, you guys are getting it in real time. You don't even want to know what a mess this is when I have to take everything off at night. This face is like dark gray and kind of funny, actually. Okay. So what direction? Wow. These always fascinate me. Hope you can see this okay. You know, I've always had a complicated relationship with Halloween because, let's face it, when you look like me, if you don't wear a costume, there's going to be people out there that are going to be making comments about your costume. So I've always felt the obligation to dress up, even if I didn't have reasons to, because, I mean, you still have to go out and take care of your responsibilities and things. And, I mean, it seems like so often, anytime from mid-October through the first half of November, I get strangers on the street that'll make comments about my Halloween costume, when most of the time I'm just running around wearing what I usually wear. And sometimes people are deliberately trying to be insulting. Like, they'll say things year-round, like, oh, Halloween's not till October 31st. But, I mean, I know intellectually that sometimes people really, I guess they must be so sheltered that they're not used to seeing people that don't look exactly like them. This is hard for me to see, guys. Oh. Alright. You know what? I think I'm going to leave that alone there, because most people are not going to see that anyway. I hope I have enough in this tube for this. I'm sure I will. I can't say I'm not using this all the way to the very end. I mean, for the price I paid, I mean, to many of you, paying $15 for a single lipstick's no big whoop. But, I mean, at least it meant something to me, the circumstances of my getting it. You know, 'cause that's what I look at, the objects that I have, a lot of my clothes and things. I have strong memories associated with them. Outfits like this dress that I'm wearing. Okay, this was given to me by my BFF in the whole wide world. She probably doesn't remember that she gave it to me, but, you know, I remember the clubs that I wear things in, or if I saw some friends and got pictures taken with this or that or whatever, but I really associate clothes or objects with things, and that makes them meaningful to me. I think of the people that I love, and, you know. But now, I don't often wear this for clubbing because it's long sleeved, and usually I'm dancing and sweating and all that. But the Weather Channel said it's supposed to go down to 49 tonight. So, and even though you know it's not going to be any 49 degrees on the dance floor, out walking around and the wind is going to be, you know, note to myself, next time I do this, I'm going to have Q-tips. That was really not smart. And I'm usually, I mean, a preparation that you can imagine goes into this. For some of these, I'll just go ahead and fill in with the pencil. Okay, time to sharpen this again. Goodness, 34 minutes. Please bear with me. I promise you this will be worth it. I mean, not because I'm going to bring a rabbit out of a hat or anything, but just because What do you think so far? I always like to do some kind of an eye shape. Is my computer quiet enough? I don't have any fans running. I hope to not get my dress messed up, though. That's one thing. You know, whites get stained up so easily. I mean, I got two concerns there. I got the makeup coming off on my dress, and I also have the sweat making my hair dye stain it, you know. What do you think? Can you see what I'm doing? I like to just evoke it down there, you know. I think people, once the eye sees it, they kind of get the idea. Now, sometimes I carry color down my nose. I've done a stripe down there. Sometimes I think it ends up looking stupid. Just like I noticed the last video I did, I used, at least the video that I posted before this one, I carried highlighter all the way down, and that was a bit too much. But, hey, when you have a big a big palette of highlights like that, it's easy to get carried away. Okay. Now, gonna do some eyeliner, that's important, and some lipstick. And, while I'm doing this, I see that I got a new subscriber. Somebody from my Google Plus, and by the way, Google Plus is great. It's not dead. And some people are not on Facebook, by the way. I'm one of those people. Keep on hearing people say if you want to get more subscribers to your channel, you have to be on Facebook. And it's like, I'm not on Facebook. I mean, I'd probably be world famous by now if I was on Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm not on Facebook. But you who are watching my YouTube video, you've discovered me on YouTube, and that is so groovy. Okay, I can't do anything else right now until this dries, because I've had, actually, when it's wet, migrate underneath and get in underneath my eye and stuff. But I definitely don't want this smearing on the white. Now this is a Wet n Wild H2O proof, waterproof liquid eyeliner. I have mixed feelings about it, but I only have two liquid eyeliners open. I have this one, and I forget what the other one is, but the other one isn't what I can put my hand on right now. This is the one I can, so this is the one we'll use. Like I said, the great thing about this look is that it can be achieved with so many different kinds of products. Pretty much anything that's black and is waterproof, that can last a couple hours of dancing and stuff, you know, you should be good to go. You know, sometimes I wonder just what my audience is. I mean, I make a lot of makeup videos, and obviously I think I have an idea of the kind of people that would be into that. But then I have videos where I talk about club life, which I think lots of people can relate to. You don't have to be a makeup wearing girl. Just like if you're into makeup, you don't have to be a girl. I mean, but I have content that I put out that I think should appeal to a wide variety of people. I mean, I noticed that among my subscribers, it's almost evenly split, 50-50, the genders. I think that's cool, because I think a lot of things should be beyond gender anyway, you know. If you relate to something, if you think it's cool. You know, sometimes I don't even bother with mascara with this because I don't want it to smudge on the white. But with this look, I do a nice heavy eyeliner underneath, because it just, that way you couldn't tell if it smudges because the line's already so thick, you know. Now hopefully this will stand up to, it'll be a longer night than how much time I usually spend at this particular club, because normally this particular club I don't go until after the band leaves and it's just a DJ, because that way I'll limit my exposure to forms of music that I'm really not too fond of. But since there is going to be all this Halloween stuff going on, it will behoove me to get there around the time that it's open. So I'm going to be listening to a bunch of crappy music, basically. So, but who knows? It could be fun. You know, you got to keep an open mind about these things. I go out to clubs with the attitude that I want to have a good time. I don't want to sit around home moping. I like being out in crowds of happy people. And I like to go out dancing. I like to listen to good music. And I think I have a good attitude when I go out. You know, I like to meet new people. And hopefully won't have to put up with any assholiness. Okay, I'm going to let this dry before I add any more, because I don't want it to bleed. Oh, see, now I shouldn't have opened my eye too soon, because you see what I just did? And you know what? I'm going to let that dry, and I could just scrape it off. Some things it's best not to mess with too much. Now, you know what I'm going to use for my lipstick? I'm going to use brand new lipstick I got from B&H Cosmetics. Let me see which one it is. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Brand new lipstick called Crash. And it looks black, but it's actually not. You see this? It's one on my fingers, one on my mouth. Oh, what do you think of this nose ring? My roommate was laughing at it. She thought it looked like a booger. It's made of bioplast. I'll give you a close-up look. I thought having something white would look good with this. Yeah. It's all about options. Okay, now this, my dears, is how I do my zebra stripes for Halloween. I hope you like it, and I will see you on the dance floor. Oh yeah, before I go, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification thingy, and that will let you know after you've, of course, subscribed, which I hope you do. That will let you know when I make my next upload, and then you will join my YouTube family, and I'll see you when I make my next upload. Bye.